Hello, in this video we're going to work through this problem here. So, it's as follows. A square has side lengths 3x. The first thing that jumps out at me is the word square, meaning the sides are the same. One dimension is increased by 2y and the other is decreased by 2y. We want to find an algebraic expression for the area of the resulting rectangle. And to expand that, we want to find an algebraic expression for the change in area and expand that. Finally, we want to calculate the area of the rectangle and change in area if x represents 8 and y represents 5. So let's dive in, shall we? So the first thing with this problem we want to do is draw a picture. It's so important to draw a picture because it helps us kind of figure out what we need to do. So this is the initial state we're in. So we have a square and we know we have sides of 3x. So the area of this square is going to equal to 3x times 3x, which will give me 9x squared. So now we take the square and we change it into a rectangle. So here's our rectangle. Again, I'm not worried about this being perfect in terms of dimensions. It's just a sketch to help give me an idea of what it will look like. So what happens is we are going to increase one dimension by 2y and decrease the other by 2y. So if I just kind of put a dotted line here, if we see, we know that the length from here to here would still be 3x, and the length that we add on the end would then be 2y. So we know that the length of this rectangle is going to be 3x plus 2y. And again, if we know the width is initially 3x and we subtract or decrease by 2y, that means that the new width will be 3x minus 2y. So therefore the area of this new rectangle is going to be 3x plus 2y times 3x minus 2y. And of course we can expand that, so 3x times 3x will give me 9x squared. 3x times minus 2y is going to give me minus 6xy. 2y plus 3x is going to give me plus 6xy. Plus 2y minus 2y is going to give me minus 4y squared. And of course we see there's a nice cancellation in there. So we have 9x squared minus 4y squared. Note, this is a difference of squares situation. So we now have an algebraic expression for the area of the resulting rectangle, which would be right here. So if this is our initial square with an area of 9x squared, this is the area of the resulting rectangle, and we've expanded this. So if we want to do part B now, and we want to find the change in area, what we're going to do is we're going to say the change in area, and I'm going to represent that by putting a delta area. Remember, the triangle here is the Greek letter delta, which means change in, is we're going to take the new area and we're going to subtract the old area. So the new area we know is 9x squared minus 4y squared, and the old area minus 9x squared. So the change in area is going to be, well, look at that, 9x squared cancels out with 9x squared is minus 4y squared. So that's the change in area, meaning that our area is in fact going to get smaller if we change this from from a square to a rectangle. So there's the change in area. So the minus tells us the new rectangle is actually getting smaller in area. So now, if we take part C here, and we want to calculate the area of the rectangle and change in area if x represents by 8 centimeters and y represents by 5 centimeters. So let's say A1 is going to equal the area of the square. we'll say A2 is going to represent the area of the rectangle. And then we know that delta A is going to be A2 minus A1. So if x is equal to 8 and y is equal to 5, we know that A1 is going to be 9 times 8 squared, which is going to be 9 times 64. And of course, I could then get out my trusty calculator. 9 times 64, it's going to give me 576. A2 is going to be 9 times 8 squared, which we've already worked out, minus 4 times 5 squared, which is going to give me 576 minus, and 4 times 5 squared is 100. So that means we're going to get 476. So therefore, the change in area is going to be 500, oops, we just lost that rectangle there. Let's undo that. There we go. It's going to give me 500, pardon me, we want to do A2, which is 476, minus 576, which is 100, minus 100. So we see our rectangle. Therefore, our new rectangle is 100 centimeters squared smaller. That's what that negative means there. I hope that video helped.